Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer. Welcome to the Daily Racing Form News Desk. It's Breeders' Cup time, 13 championship races. We're going to look at the 4 Grade 1s at Del Mar on Friday, beginning with race number 6, the Grade 1 Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. Let's take a look at this big field. We're going 1 mile, $1 million is the purse. Chad Brown is the morning line favorite. Mike in the number 11, Rushing Fall, a perfect 2 for 2 in her career. She handled soft ground and winners last time out in the Jessamine, and boy, that was a strong late kick.
Yeah, she really rolled through the stretch in that race from far off the pace. She's got the figures. As far as the stateside horses are concerned, she sort of stands out in this field. We'll see what happens with the European. She's got the right trainer, the right rider. Post, maybe not so great. They're probably going to have to take her back again from post 11 and see if she can work out some kind of trip from back there. There's nothing to really knock about her first 2 races, Dan. I thought she was impressive both times. I will say this, though, both times. Those races set up pretty well for horses that wanted to close. I thought both of those races closers had the best of it, and she was the best closer. We'll see if that's the case on Friday.
Aidan O'Brien always sends his powerhouse stable to the Breeders' Cup. He has the number 2 Happily at 9-2. Ryan Moore takes the mount. She basically ticks all the boxes. She has a beautiful pedigree. She's a full sister to Glen Eagles, a Group 1 winner. She is already a multiple Group 1 winner. She beat Males last time out. Now, after winning the Prix Jean-Luc Lagardère, she was going to run in the Fillies Mile. She missed that race due to a temperature. She was rerouted here. Does that bother you at all?
I mean, you don't like to see them missing a race and then being rerouted somewhere else. I guess it's never a good thing. On the other hand, if you're just going to judge her on what she's done on the racetrack so far, I don't know. I mean, what is there to knock about her? She's, ever since her debut, really felt like she needed that race. She's 4 for 5. The only time she lost, she got wired by a stablemate of hers, but she ran really well to be second. I really liked her win last time over Colts. I mean, that was a really nice performance. She's got a great post on the inside. What's not to like about this horse?
O'Brien also has the number 10 September. You want to talk about a pedigree. This filly is by the Japanese stalwart Deep Impact. Her Damn Peeping Fawn won 4 Group 1 races, and this one just missed last time out in a happily less Fillies Mile last time out. It was a good performance. Yeah. She's getting Lasix. I think she's coming to hand at the right time.
She probably is. She was super unlucky not to win that Fillies Mile last time. I mean, just go back and pull the replay of that race. She had all kinds of traffic in the stretch, lost position. By the time she got clear, it was very late in the game, and she still almost got up to win. She was very unlucky not to win last time. My problem with her is, I don't know how much I like her 2 races prior to that. And I don't know if there are really excuses for her in those races. I know that the ground was less than firm, and maybe that's her excuse, but I didn't think that she ran that well either time. I thought she was sort of exposed anyway, at least in the form of Happily, who was just way better than her both times. And it's also at least a little interesting that heading into that race, off of a really impressive first 2 starts, Ryan Moore didn't want to ride her. He wanted to ride Happily. I wonder if she's as good as her stablemate.
Let's take a look at the European horses in post position order. The 3 is Now You're Talking. This is a maiden after only 5 starts, adding Lasix, but it's going to be a big price.
Yeah, she almost has to be a big price in this race. They've tried her in a lot of tough spots. They obviously think highly of her. They've tried her in a bunch of group races, including a Group 1. And she hasn't embarrassed herself in any of them. I think she has some talent. It's just hard to take a maiden in this race.
The 4 Madeline, 20-1 on the morning line, reportedly is going to add Lasix. 3rd last time out in a Group 1 stakes. The 5th place finisher came back to win a listed affair. I'm not sure if this year's Cheveley Park was a great race.
Yeah, I'm not either. And she got a pretty good trip in that race. I mean, she tried in there. I thought she was a good 3rd, but she had her chance at it after a good trip and just wasn't quite good enough.
Juliet Capulet goes out for the all-world connections. Frankie Dettori, John Gosden. This one just won the Group 2 Rockfell Stakes. The 3rd place finisher came back to run 2nd in a Group 3 in Great Britain. Reportedly, she's going to add Lasix for the first time. This is a filly that's going to have to stretch out for the first time. That's somewhat of a concern.
A little bit it is. I don't know if I would worry that much about it, except that she really didn't draw a good post in this race. If she had drawn a post more towards the inside, I'd be a lot more interested in her, because I think she's really improved from the start of her career up until her last race where she won that Group 2, and she was impressive winning it. I think she's really improved a lot for John Gosden, and I like her in this race. I just don't like the post that she has.
Let's take a look at some of the horses coming down from Woodbine. We'll begin with the winner of the Group 1 Natalma. That is the number 7, Capla Temptress, now in the very capable hands of Bill Mott for Team Valor. First time Lasix, good performance to win the Natalma. It was kind of a slow race.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with her. I don't think that she beat necessarily the strongest field in the world. On the other hand, I really liked the way that she did it. I mean, to me, she was a very convincing winner of that race under a very confident ride from Joel Rosario. I thought that she was really good in there. And then going back to her races before she got here in Europe, she ran well in all of those races, even the Group 3 race before she left the Solaris Stakes. I mean, that was just a race where it felt like it was impossible to close, and she was trying to make up ground. She was a good third in that race.
Dixie Moon, the number 12, tried to wire him in the Natalma, just came up short late, came back to beat Boys in the Cup and Saucer race. Restricted to Ontario breds, she's going to show big speed in here.
Yeah, you would think they'd come out running from post 12 and then see what kind of trip that she can get in this race. She has to improve to win.
Another horse that will show speed is Wesley Ward's number 5, Ultima D, a gate-to-wire winner last time out of Kentucky Downs, going 7 furlongs. The presence of other speeds, the extra distance might work against her. This is the first time she's really taking on top company.
A lot of things working against her in this race, and we'll see. Maybe she just won't even try and make the front in this race. She had all the best of it last time in the Juvenile Fillies at Kentucky Downs. Just basically walked on the lead in there. If you want somebody out of that race, you want the runner-up best performance.
Let's talk about best performance, because she ran just against the profile in that race that race. No pace. Ultima D walked on the lead. Best performance. It was a horse that showed a little bit of potential on the dirt, has really blossomed on the turf. She came back and ran in the Miss Griot last time out. Her first time going a route of ground, and she was wide early. I liked what Joel Rosario did. He gathered her up, took her sort of to mid-pack where she was able to relax. She must have been 5 wide turning into the stretch. She had a full head of steam. She was just turned back late by Significant Form, who's also in this race.
Yeah, Significant Form was just better than her in that race. And maybe Significant Form is just a better horse than she is. On the other hand, this horse has improved on the turf. She was good, I thought, very unlucky in a good performance at Kentucky Downs, and she ran well last time, only second best, but she ran well. Now she gets Lasix, really nice inside post. There are things to like about her at a price.
Significant Form, like the morning line favorite Rushing Fall, trained by Chad Brown. Here's a formulator fact and a positive one. Over the past 5 years, with last out winning 2-year-old turf routers, off a minor layoff in graded stakes, 27% to 248 ROI. This horse has been super impressive in both starts. I mean, she was much the best in her career debut, but she caused a little bit of a headache for some other horses and had to be disqualified. She came back in the Miss Griot, and she was confronted immediately once she made the front by best performance. Again, that horse had the momentum. Significant Form wouldn't take no for an answer, and she battled back. I like her tactical speed.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about her. Her debut was a little bit of a mess early, as you pointed out, but she looked like a totally different horse by the time they got to the stretch. She had it figured out, and she just powered home. A really good-looking filly, and I liked her win last time. On paper, the other Chad, Rushing Fall, I guess, is a little bit better than her. We'll see about that. I'm not so sure in my own mind. I think this horse, Significant Form, is pretty good too, and she'll be a much better price.
Or Belushin, the number 6, got a perfect trip to win her turf debut. Got a very nice trip to win the PG Johnson. Then in the Miss Griot, in between horses, but no match for Significant Form in best performance late. My opinion is I think she's peaked. I think we've seen her best. I think she's going to have to improve, but you're getting 20 to 1 on Johnny V and Pletcher.
Yeah, and it's not like she hasn't run any good races. She's run some good races, and it's not like, she was embarrassed in the Miss Griot last time. On the other hand, based on that evidence, she's got a little bit to find on those 2 horses that outfinished her there, because there was really no excuse for her in that race. She was just third best.
The local contingent, led by Fatal Beret, who won the Surfer Girl, coming from off of a solid pace, and Moondash, who took the worst of it from a post position standpoint. Both of these horses have done very little wrong in their career. This is a tough spot.
Yeah, based on the last race, the Surfer Girl, it almost just feels like, and they finished, they hit the wire together. It just almost felt like, to me anyway, Fatal Beret just got the better ride in that race. DeSormo made an excellent move on the backstretch to get the jump on the other horse and then held her off to the finish, but they both have decent form. It just feels like maybe they found a tough race here.
Pick time for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf, kicking off the 13-race, 2-day Breeders' Cup extravaganza. Mike, you like Bill Mott's Capla Temptress. First time Lasix, Joel Rosario retains the mount.
Just like all of her races, in a wide open kind of race here, I just felt like she might be an okay price in here. There are so many different ways to go, but I really feel like the 71 buyer she got last time doesn't do her justice.
You're going to go 7, 8, 2, and 13. This race does kick off with pick 4. I'm going to go with significant form. I just like everything I've seen out of her first 2 starts, the way she had trouble in her debut, and then she just blew by those horses in the stretch. And then the Miss Griot, Chad wasn't fooling around wasting his time in a maiden race. He sent her in the Miss Griot. She was even money despite being officially a maiden, and she looked very, very good digging down in the stretch. I'll go 8, 10, 2, and 13 in the Grade 1 Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. Race number 6 at Del Mar on Friday is an approximate post time of 2:25 Pacific. Best of luck.